Hello, Craig Smith from the Home Education Foundation in Palmerston North, New Zealand. We're here talking about how we as parents can educate, and I'm talking about educate our children at home. I'm not talking about institutionalizing or sending them off down the road where they're going to get schooling and they're going to get socialization, so-called. We don't want that. We want our children to leave our homes fully educated. Now, sometimes a parent will say, how can I keep going when the going gets tough? And yeah, that's a good question, because the going does get tough at times. Well, look, you know, the going gets tough on a number of fronts, perhaps. You think, these children are so misbehaved, they're just causing me grief all day long. Well, okay, that should probably point out where the problem is. They're undisciplined. That may point out to the fact that you perhaps yourself are undisciplined. If you want to have disciplined children, the first thing to understand is that you yourself have to be disciplined. Then you can discipline and require discipline from your children. So you got to set your standards. You have to make them unambiguous. Be clear about what you require of your children, and be clear that if they transgress, that there will be consequences. They will not be pleasant, and that they know what the consequences are going to be, and that you will follow through. Don't make these idle threats. If you do that one more time, well then blah blah blah, you will probably forget your idle threat. Your children will not. They will always remember that. So if you say that, you better make sure you're going to follow up on that. If you don't, you have destroyed your credibility in the eyes of your children, and that is a very demotivating thing for your children. It really makes, it causes them great difficulty in respecting you and listening to anything you say after that. If you're known to them as one who with these throwaway lines, you do that one more time, I tell you what, I'm going to do this and this and this. Don't say that unless you intend to follow that up. Better yet, don't say it. Because if you don't follow it up, you ruin your credibility in the eyes of your children. You don't want to do that. Yeah, so how to keep going when the going gets tough. Identify where the tough areas are and see what can be done to rectify those. Now sometimes you're just tired at the end of the day and you collapse into bed. You're exhausted because you've been working hard all day. You know what? There's nothing hard with collapsing into bed exhausted after working hard. God created us to work. And if you've been working hard, if you've been doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're tired after having done it faithfully all day, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. God will give to His beloved sleep. Look after one another, husband and wife. You know, try to relieve stress where you can. But certainly don't expect that each one of you has to do everything. Don't expect that you have to do everything for your children. Spoon feed them along the way. No. Your children should be doing most of the work for themselves. They should be feeding themselves, dressing themselves, bathing themselves, tidying up their own rooms. And so you're there to encourage them along their education and in their character development. That's great. Thanks very much.